Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. You're welcome, Melanie. Happy to have both the holiday and the non-holiday playlists. Um, I love having this chat. It makes it feel a little less just like me and my computer. So thank you very much. If you can't see the chat, I think you have to be logged into YouTube. So that's something you could do for the future. Um, but thank you all so much for being here. I'm glad. I put Shanti. Shanti, you want to sit up and show it off, and then I'll take it off? She's so mad about this. She's got a little Christmas bandana on. I've got my elf socks. That's as Christmassy as we're gonna get, huh? But I'm glad you're here with us. This is my last Yoga and Beer class of the year, but I'll be back for our Saturday, January 2nd class right after the new year. So super looking forward to that and kicking off 2021 and hopefully all the good things to come for 2021 next year. I have a new fur animal today, little reindeer with a scarf. I did not quite get to Jamie holiday level, but I added some holiday cheer. Hi, Ruth. Glad you're here. Jennifer, thanks for joining us. Glad you're here as well. And if you did not see them in the chat, there's a holiday playlist and a non-holiday playlist. I've actually never done a fully Christmas playlist for a class before. Hold on. You don't have to wear that all morning. Yeah, you want that off. There you go. Oh, I've never done a fully holiday playlist before because I haven't wanted to make anyone not feel included or in the spirit during a public class. But at home, you have some choice of if you want music or not. So I did a fully Christmas playlist. I spent entirely way too much time on it yesterday. Had fun with it. And then there's an option for a non-holiday class as well, or non-holiday playlist. And then there's the option for no music, which is sometimes the right option. I'm Mikki. If you've not practiced with me before, this is going to be an all levels invitation to do just what you need this Saturday morning, the Saturday of kind of the beginning of our holiday week. And so just really giving yourself what you need, not less, not more, just your perfect practice today so that you head into this next week with the clarity and the peace and the presence that you need. And that's going to be our theme of class this morning. We're going to gift ourselves the gift of presence. Couldn't let the pun go by. Not presents that come in a box, but the presence of being with ourselves in the moment. And that is going to be the focus of class today. Before we dive into our practice, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being with us this year. It's been a weird year for so many of us in so many ways, and it was made less weird because you all moved online with us and showed up every Saturday or the Saturdays that you could, Monday nights as we've had those, the few in-person classes we could have this year, and just knowing that you're all here with us. I know that a lot of you have reached out and said thank you for the support we've provided, but also thank you for the support you've provided, because I know on behalf of our teaching team that we're all navigating this weird year as well. And it has meant so much to us to have you with us as we've pressed go live on this button this year. And have moved together and breathed together as a community. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to hopefully getting back to in person in 2021 and continuing these live streams. I see some chats coming in. So before we dive in, Jennifer, if you still can't see video, there's definitely video. Maybe just try to reload. I think it's working for everyone else. I haven't heard any other issues. And these are stance socks for Pam, who wants the elf socks. Yay, Jennifer, I'm glad it works. All right, guys, we are going to come down onto our backs to get started this morning. If you are using either playlist, just go ahead and push play on that. Good morning, Karen. Glad to have you here. Good morning, Shelly. The socks might not last very long. Good morning, Mom. And I'm going to do my best to not sing the Christmas songs for you this morning. No promises, though. So legs straight or bent as you settle in here at your feet. Either if it's heels because your legs are straight or soles of feet because your knees are bent, just get heavy into the ground. Hands are either on the belly or beside you. Just letting the body begin to settle. Not in the haphazard way of laying in bed in the morning or overnight, but in a very intentional way of feeling the backs of your shoulders on the floor, the back of your head, of feeling the body set up and situated in such a way that the breath can flow. And there can be this sense of order on the inside, even amongst maybe a sense of disorder and chaos. And just start to let the air move in and out. Maybe adding a count to your breath this morning, counting in for 4 or 5 as you inhale, and counting out for 4 or 5 as you exhale. As we begin to move this morning, inviting yourself to be as present in each moment as you can. This intention as you start each breath to focus on that breath and nothing else from beginning to end. And some breaths that'll happen really easily, some you'll get distracted 100 times. But each breath is an opportunity to begin again. Trying to keep the mind from planning and analyzing, recalling, reflecting. And just as we move and breathe, being here, right here, with the sensations of the moment, the experience of the moment. The future will come and the past is the past. But right now is the present. Pun fully intended. All right, let's wiggle the feet to the floor if the legs are straight, bend the knees. If your feet are wide, bring them into hip width. And we're going to walk those feet in fairly close to your bum. Take the hands to those upper thighs. And let's gently push away. Start gentle and then get a little bit more vigorous about it. So just kind of some decompression for the low back here. You can be pretty forceful with that push into the thighs. And try your best to be even, left to right. And then go ahead and soften that push, that press. And we're going to take your right ankle onto your left thigh. Let that right knee fall open. And we're going to actually do that same decompression. So hands to the tops of the thighs, just like you did. And this one's going to be really important that you keep them fairly even so that you're not kind of swiveling the hips. So start soft and even amount of pressure into both legs. And then get a little more vigorous there. And then go ahead and soften there. Let that right foot come on down to the ground. And then left ankle, right thigh. And we're just going to do that same exact thing. Hi, Jacob. So left ankle, right thigh, hands to the tops of those thigh bones. Gently push away, a little decompression there. I'm just noticing, observing, feeling. Just take one more full breath here into that deep abdomen and the deep low back. And then release the hands from the thighs. Let that left foot come on down. And we're going to take your arms alongside the body and grab on to the edges of your yoga mat. If you're practicing sans yoga mat, good on you. You'll just kind of let your hands press into the ground. But if you've got that yoga mat, go ahead and grab onto the sides, pull gently away, and let's press down into those feet and start to lift your hips up toward the sky. And then exhale, let those hips come down. We're going to do that dynamically a couple times. Inhale, press into those feet, lift the hips. And exhale, let those hips come down. How about 2 more? For those of you listening to the holiday playlist, this version by Duke Ellington of Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy is maybe my new favorite find. So sassy. One more time. All right, we are going to lift those hips and stay. Let those hips lift. Maybe walk those shoulders underneath you just a little bit more. And I don't care how high the hips get, what I want there to be is a sense of feeling of breath in the front of your low belly, front of the hip, the front of the thigh, as though that whole part of your body that gets so condensed as we sit during the week is yawning. And if you're enjoying the music, maybe your hips go a little sassy side to side. All right, hips come on down. Little sway of those knees right to left. Letting there be a sense now of that yawn, that breath in the outer hip. Maybe even around the pelvis and into that lower spine. And then we're going to bring your knees into your chest. Hold on to shins or thighs and just kind of keep that side to side going. A little rock across the back and actually use your floor. If you're not practicing on carpet, you've got something hard, use that floor to give yourself a little bit of a low back massage on the edges of your pelvis. And where you feel that massage will change based on how close the knees are or how far away they are. And then let's bring those knees in nice and close. Hands on the kneecaps. Let's exhale, press your legs away. Keep the legs bent, arms will straighten. Inhale, pull those knees in. Let's do that 2 more times. Push, pull. One more push. And pull. As you pull in this time, give those legs a big ol' hug. Maybe you actually hug the legs. You could curl your chin up towards your knees. And let's start to rock and roll up and down your spine. And make your way up and over into your table pose. Make sure you strap your battery pack back on. Oh, you don't have one of those? Okay, good. All right, belly down, head and heart up, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine cat. Couple rounds there. Continuing to move up the spine, starting to move, wake up the middle back, the upper back, just feeling that fullness of movement from bottom of spine to top of spine. Let's take one more round here. And then as you inhale the next time, we're going to find your table shape. From that table shape, let's take your right leg back. Any amount of lift off the ground. You might also choose to take your left arm forward. I'm going to give lots of options throughout your practice this morning, and you just say no thank you or yes please as it works for you. Let's take an inhale here and get a little longer forward and back. You might even kick that right leg up just a bit. And then exhale, bring knee and elbow underneath your body. Crunch it in. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, get long. And bring it in. Now this time as you get long, option 1, stay here. Option 2, bend that back leg, maybe reach your left hand back. Option 3, grab on. If it doesn't happen, don't force it. If it does, push that foot into the hand. Hug that outer left hip in so you're not kind of sassing over to the side and collapsing. And then try not to slingshot. Release leg back, hand forward. And left hand to the floor. right shin to the ground, table. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, table. Let's get that other side. Left leg flies. Maybe right arm reaches forward. We'll stay for a nice full breath in here, get long, and then exhale, bring it in. Inhale, elongate. Remember, this could be arm and leg or just arm. Bring it in. Una más, one more. 22 days into a Duolingo Spanish streak. It might come out. Might drop some Spanish in class today. All right, get long. We'll bend that back leg. Reach back with the hand. Remember, these are options. You could also keep the limbs elongated. Maybe you grab the foot, and if you've got the foot, push the foot into the hand. Try not to collapse into that outer right hip. And then let's elongate. And hand down, shin down. One more time, cow pose. Tuck your toes under. Make sure you're happy with where your hands are for downward facing dog. And let's take your hips up and back into your likely your first down dog of the day. So as you find that down dog, let's maybe pedal your feet just a little bit or wag your tail. Let your head hang heavily between your arms. And then let both legs straighten. Let your wiggles stop. All of the fidgeting and movement. And just do your best for a couple breaths here to find stillness. Feel the details of the space and the shape in this moment. As you inhale this next time, let's roll forward to plank. Just going to say little good morning hellos to plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. You have 2 more there. If you're not planking today, feel free to stand down dog for 2 more breaths. Inhale, plank. And down dog. One more time. And from this down dog, let's start to stroll your feet forward toward your hands. Take your time. When you get to the top of the mat, put a generous bend in your knees and allow yourself to just drape forward over your legs. Let the head nod yes a couple times. Chin to chest and then release. And then shake your head no a couple times for all the things you had to say yes to this week that you wanted to say no to. And then bend your knees a little bit more. And let's roll up. Inch by inch. All the way up. Big shrug of those shoulders, up, back, and down as you rise. Let's do that 2 more times. Take them forward, take them up. Super exaggerated and dramatic. Back and down. One more time. Forward, up, back, and down. And then let's take your 2 hands up to the sky as you inhale. Let those palms join together overhead. As you exhale, let's fold. As much bend to your knees as you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let's bow. Rooting into your feet. We'll just rise up, reach up back to standing. And hands together and into the heart as you exhale. Little half sun salutation. How about we do that one more time? Inhale, let's reach. Setting pacing here. Exhale, fold. Body and breath moving together. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up. And hands to heart. So we'll start the same way, but we'll add on. Let's reach as you breathe in. Exhale, bow forward. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Right foot stays, left leg steps back, and we're going to let that back knee come on down to the ground, but let's keep those back toes tucked under. Let's bring your two hands up to the sky. Low lunge here. And we're going to press that right heel down into the ground and pull back till you feel that hamstring fire. And then I want you to push your left knee down into the floor and pull forward. So it's like you're scissoring your legs, or what I imagine cross-country skiing to be like. I've only been once. It was not pretty. Option to stay here. If you're ready to get those legs a little bit more woken up, you're going to try to keep your front leg as active as it is and as deeply bent as it is, but lift that back knee off the ground, taking that back leg to straight. One more full breath here. Maybe press those palms together overhead. And then exhale, hands around your front foot. Let's take it back. Downward facing dog. Now you might choose to stay in your down dog. You might choose to come forward to plank. Knees to the floor for this first round. Chaturanga, elbows point straight back, heart lengthens forward. Even way to cross your palms. Try not to roll to the outer edge. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Maybe you keep it low. Maybe you feel ready to lift up higher this morning. Back to the belly as you exhale. And back you go, downward facing dog. From your down dog, let's take your left leg, lift it up and back. And bring that left foot forward between your hands. So we'll do that same thing. Back knee to the ground, keep those back toes tucked under. We'll come up to your low lunge, hands to the sky. Feel that scissoring effect of the leg. So left heel pushes down and pulls back. Right knee pushes down and pulls forward. You are invited to stay here, just like this, or back knee lifts, starts to straighten. You have one more breath. Press the palms together, maybe look up. And then hands come down. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up. And hands to heart. Here, right here, full breath in, present with yourself. Full breath out. Hands go up to the sky, inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. As you fold, we'll take your right leg back. Back knee to the ground, toes tuck under. So we're going to do that same work again. If you're not feeling it, then just keep your hands down to lift that back knee. If you liked that first round, we'll come up, hands over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Feel that active leg, the scissoring. Lift that back knee. Big full breath in and out here. And then let that back heel spin in, shoulders open toward the long edge of the mat. Warrior two. Once you're there, let's inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the hands up. Exhale, bend the front knee, lower the arms. Two more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower and bend. One more time. As you bend the knee this time, right hand down the back leg, left hand up. And then hands down around your front foot. Back you go, downward facing dog. Just like the first round, you have the invitation to stay here. Or inhale, plank. Knees up or down. We'll lower to the belly, elbows point straight back. Untuck your toes, inhale, baby cobra or high cobra. Back to the belly. And back you go, downward facing dog. For those who don't know this about me, I was a choir kid my entire life. Sang opera. So all of my favorite holiday songs are very much the traditional ones. So you got traditional, but in untraditional ways in this playlist, because I really just wanted to put a bunch of choir music in. But I didn't do that to you. When you're ready, right leg to the sky. And foot forward between your hands. So if this is, again, feeling like a lot in your legs, I invite you to keep your fingers down as we explore this first part with the knee down to up. If you're up for the challenge this morning, shoulders and hands over hips, scissoring legs. Try to stay committed to the bend in that front knee. As you lift that back knee, straighten the leg. And then we'll swivel that back heel in, open the shoulders to the long edge of the mat, warrior two. 3 times, inhale, straighten the front leg, reach those hands up. Bend the front knee, lower the arms as you exhale. 2 more times, reach up and lower. 1 more. We'll keep that front knee bent this time. Back hand down the back leg, right hand reaches up and back, reverse. And hands come down around your front foot. Come onto the ball of that back foot. Let's step your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up as you breathe in. And exhale, hands to heart. Eyes steady, mind steady, breath steady. Full breath in. Full breath out. 1 more breath here. Take your 2 hands up to the sky as you inhale this next time. Shift over into that right foot. Bring your left knee up toward the chest. Feel and check in with your balance this morning. And then we'll take your left leg all the way back behind you into your crescent lunge. Yay, Ruth. I'm glad someone else likes my Christmas music taste. I feel like a weirdo sometimes. All right, from your crescent lunge, we're going to straighten your front leg. Also, everyone, yoga in socks is very hot. I don't know how Jamie taught in that sweater last weekend. Exhale, bend the front knee, bend the elbows. 2 more times. Straighten, reach, bend. 1 more time. Let's keep that front knee bent. Keep those elbows bent, but bring those arms in front of the chest. We're going to drop your left arm below your right. Latch that elbow underneath the right elbow for either a hug or your eagle wrap. Let those elbows melt up toward the ceiling any amount. You might look up, might take a little back bend here. Keep really actively pressing out through that left heel. And then hands down around your front foot. Step it back. Good to know, Jamie. I was feeling a little ridiculous in my hot, sweaty socks here. All right, from your down dog, vinyasa, down dog hold, or even some child's pose if you're feeling like you just need to be for a moment. Moving with your breath, finding some stillness for a couple breaths. When you're ready, we'll prepare to move to the top of the yoga mat. You can walk, step, or hop your way there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Halfway, or not halfway lift, all the way lift. Come on up. And hands to heart. Finding that stillness, that steadiness for a breath. We do have some more balance coming up. So as much as the eyes, the breath, the mind get steady, let those feet also feel steady. And then hands to the sky. We'll shift into that left foot. Let your right knee come up toward the chest. Feel what comes up in terms of the wobbles, maybe the activation of your mind. Sometimes balance can be really focusing. Sometimes balance can be very triggering in terms of busyness of the mind. We'll take that right leg back behind you into your crescent lunge. And then we'll straighten the front leg. Bend the front knee, bend the elbows as you exhale. 2 more times. Reach up and bend. 1 more time. We're going to keep that front knee bent. Right arm under left arm. It can be a hug, it can be an eagle wrap. And then let those elbows come any amount up toward the ceiling. Feel the upper back move into the chest, the back of the heart moving toward the front of the heart. Maybe look up just a bit. And then hands down around your front foot. Back you go. Downward facing dog. Vinyasa if you want it. Down dog if you'd prefer. Child's pose if you need a few moments. When you're ready, we're all going to meet up in your downward facing dog. But if you've gone somewhere else and you just need a few more moments, don't rush it. Just get there with us when you can. Right foot to the sky. Right foot between your hands. So we're going to come on up into that crescent lunge. Step into the right foot, bring your left knee all the way up to the chest. That left knee is going out to the left. Wouldn't be a holiday class without a little Christmas tree. So left foot on inner right thigh, calf or ankle. Hands at heart or hands reaching up toward the ceiling. And just like the tops of Christmas trees growing up and up and up and up, we happen to grow Christmas trees on our property here. Let those hands actively be reaching for the ceiling, for the sky, for the sun. As Oregonians in the middle of December, we can understand that reaching for the sun. Come to me. And then let's turn that left knee forward, releasing the tree pose shape. Take that left leg all the way back into your lunge. Drop that back heel to the ground. And open up into warrior two. I'm a big Lindsay Sterling fan, Stephanie. So you find your warrior two. Let's root into that right big toe, straighten your front leg. Reach your right hand way, way, way forward. And right hand to floor, shin or block for your triangle pose. Now, as you find your triangle pose today, I want you to turn your gaze toward the ground. We're going to turn your left palm so it faces the wall behind you. So not the back of the mat behind you, but behind your butt. And I want you to imagine that the wall is like right there. And you can push that hand back into it. So you're not going to let the arm go way, way back, just as though you have something right behind that left shoulder to push into. Push. Press the ground away with both feet just a little bit more. And then bend your front knee. Come up into your warrior two. Turn the fingers toward the sky, palms push out. Feel that lengthening through the wrists. Let the space at the base of the neck be soft. And then let's reverse. Left hand down the back leg. Right hand reaches up and back. Hands around your front foot. And we're going to make our way all the way down onto the belly, however that makes sense for you to get there. So maybe that's back to plank, lowering through chaturanga. And let's come down, forehead to the ground. I might not be able to put mine down because of the microphone, but you can put your forehead on the ground. We'll see how this goes. And we're going to take your arms forward, palms facing one another. Legs are straight back behind you with the toes pointing back. As you inhale, let's lift your right leg and your left arm. And then put them down. We're going to alternate side to side there a few times. Left leg, right arm. And put it down. A couple times with your breath, alternating side to side. So it's opposite arm and leg that lift. The limbs that are still on the ground are helping to stabilize. So if the left hand is down and the right foot is down, they're pushing into the floor to help provide that foundation. Let's do 2 more on each side. And then the next time that left leg and right hand come down, slide your hands back beside your ribs, push up through table or plank. And make your way back into downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky. Left foot forward between your hands. We come up to that crescent lunge. And then step into your left foot, bring your right knee up into your chest. Once you've found your stability, let that right knee go to the right, placing your foot for your tree on thigh, calf, or ankle. And then if you choose to keep those hands reaching skyward, give them some purpose, some vigor as they reach up. Notice where the eyes are. Notice where the brain is. Turn that right knee forward. Step that right leg all the way back behind you. And we'll ground your back heel, opening into warrior two. Front leg straightens for your triangle pose shape. Take that left hand way forward, hand on shin block or floor. Hand directly up from the shoulder. Active legs. And then we're going to turn that right palm so it faces behind you. And as though the wall is right there, I want you to push that right hand back, almost like somebody's pushing into your hand and you're resisting them. Let your gaze be down at the floor. One more full breath here. And then we'll bend your front knee, come up into your warrior two. In this warrior two, we're going to turn the fingertips toward the sky, press out through the drop into the base of the neck there. Let there be a great sense of freedom around the neck. And then right hand down the back leg, left hand up. Hands down around your front foot. And back you go to plank, to once again lower down to the belly. On the belly, arms forward, legs back. Forehead to the floor. Inhale, lift your two arms. Keep the feet rooted. Exhale, lower your two arms. Root into the pinky edges of the hands. Inhale, fly your feet. And exhale down. So this is our pattern this round. The hands and the legs are going to move together, but only one half of your body is lifting. Inhale, hands. Exhale, down. Inhale, feet. Exhale, down. Try not to push your forehead into the ground. Just let it be lightly there. Let's do two more of each half of our body. One more hands. One more legs. And we'll slide your hands back alongside the body. Musketeer's like, I don't know what I think about this wooden front. Hi, buddy. And we're going to push up into your table shape and then back into your downward facing dog. So from your downward facing dog, we're going to take your right leg to the sky. And we're going to step that right foot outside your right hand. And if you need to step down the middle and then wiggle it out, that's fine. We're going to put that back knee on the ground with the toes tucked under. So we're in lizard, right foot is outside the right hand. If your hands are not comfortably on the ground, you grab blocks or books and put them underneath your hands. So what I want you to start to create here, we're going to take a couple rounds before we settle in of working length into this back leg. And not the whole back leg, but specifically this kind of front hip, front thigh zone, okay? So let's start here for a couple breaths. I want you just to feel that left inner thigh, so the inner line, kind of softening back toward the back of the mat. So that that space between the low ribs and your inner left thigh feels like they're moving away from one another. Then we're going to pick your knee off the ground, wiggle the foot back another ½ inch or so, and put the knee back down. Now feel that scissoring action of your legs so that right leg still has purpose. Feel that softening of the inner left thigh back. Soften around the neck and shoulders. If you're feeling any gripping around your right hip, I invite you to turn those right toes and knee out, maybe 40 or 50 degrees toward the right. Now, if this is plenty of sensation, you stay. If you want to challenge, want to explore a little more, knee lifts, wiggle the foot back another ½ inch or so, put the knee down. Feel the scissoring of the legs. So there's still activity. We're not just laying into the flexibility of it. Inner left thigh softens back. Crown of head lengthens forward. And then if you've got a little more space, you're going to do that one more time. Now as you find the knee down once again, maybe you stay on hands for a few more breaths. Maybe it feels nice to come down onto forearms. One or both. You could put blocks underneath those forearms as well. Maybe it's a great opportunity to love on your cat and his big old squishy belly. What is it? Santa's bowl full of jelly. Now, if you have a block, you might slide that under your forehead here. We're here for about 5 more breaths. Maybe your animal will position itself underneath your forehead. You can also bring your hands or your forehead to the palms. Try not to let the brain run away from this. If the sensation is too much that you feel like you need to run, back out just a little bit. And then let's come up onto hands, nice and slow. Let's just really gently wiggle that right leg back into table. Knees under hips. Let's take a little side to side movement. So let's take hips to the right, ear to the right ear to the right, and then hips to the left, head to the left. Let's do that 2 more times. So the tendency is going to be for head and hips to move away from each other. I want them to move toward each other. Head to the right, hips to the right. Hips to the left, head to the left. It feels really nice. Let's do that one more time. Final time, I promise. And then let's come back to center. Tuck your toes, take those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. I almost just said silent night. Oh, buddy. The elf. When you're ready, let's take your left foot to the sky. And step the left foot outside the left hand. Remember, you could just step it forward and wiggle it out. We'll bring that back knee down to the ground. And you've got a little space, a little time here to explore the depths of this. So don't start with the deepest back knee. Just kind of let it be soft and easy. Give yourself that turnout in the front knee and foot that you need to let that left hip be a little less grippy. And then settle into your breath here. For me, it really helps just to close my eyes and to feel things from inside my body instead of using the eyeballs. So let's feel that inner right thigh all softening back. That gap of space, or the length of space, I should say, from the bottom of your rib cage to that inner right thigh, feeling spacious, like it's yawning open. This might be plenty for you, or you might tuck those back toes under, lift the knee, wiggle the foot back a half inch or so, quarter inch, whatever makes sense, put the knee back down. Now, to keep this from just being kind of pure flexibility work, which flexibility without stability is really not healthy and great for us. So feel that scissoring action of your leg so that there's still that strength, that stability in the shape. So legs are scissoring, inner right thigh is softening back. After a couple breaths, you might be like, I've got some space. Tuck the toes. If they're untucked, wiggle the knee back or the foot back and put the knee back down. Now you maybe have one more round of wiggling the foot back, but you might already be at your happy place. When you feel like you've found that right place for you today, and you're going to come down onto forearms or blocks if that's available, or you're going to stay right here. If you gave your animals some love on the first side, give them some love on this side. If you supported your forehead on something and you haven't already, make sure you give yourself that support at some point. Got one more breath here. When you're ready, come back up onto hands. Wiggle that left leg back and around to your table. That outer side body kind of scrunch and release felt nice. Let's do that side to side movement a couple times. Head and hips to the right, and then head and hips to the left. And we are surrendering into child's pose when you feel ready. Let's take those knees nice and wide. If your forehead doesn't come to the ground, grab something to put beneath your head. And then I'm going to invite you today to bend those elbows, bring your hands together, palm to palm. As the forehead comes down to the floor or your block, let those hands fall behind the head. And just take some full
present breaths here into the front and the back of your heart, the sides of your heart. Feel the steadiness of your legs and your low back just heavy toward the ground. From that steadiness, allow there to be a sense of great softening around your heart. And then let's go ahead and straighten those arms. We're going to come back up onto hands. Let your hips come up over your knees. Bring those knees to hip width. And then let's keep that low body nice and steady once again. We're going to crawl your arms forward into puppy dog. So unlike child's pose where the hips are back, now your hips are going to stay above your knees. Hands are going to go forward like down dog, forehead to the mat. Let that heart melt. Back of the heart softening to the front of the heart. Again, that stability of the lower half of the body, providing a sense of freedom to the upper half. Some of you might turn your chin to the ground, looking forward, and inviting that same sense of softening into your throat, your center of self-expression, ironically also your center of your ability to listen. And then we'll walk your hands back under your shoulders. And then one last time, let's come back into your child's pose. Hands forward or wrapped around your legs this time, but I want the forehead to be down on ground or block. And whatever the forehead is resting upon, I want you to ever so gently rock your head side to side across the front of your skull there, the front of your brain. Breathing some awareness into your center of intuition here, your center of presence. And then let's ease ourselves up. And let's come all the way down onto the back from here. As you come down onto the back, we're going to bend your knees, place your feet flat on the ground, move your cat's tail. So similarly to how we started class, we're just going to grip onto the sides of the mat gently. Feet hip width, knees hip width. Let's inhale nice and slow. Let those hips lift toward the ceiling. Nice and slow. Let your hips lower down. About 4 more times there. If you would rather come up into bridge and hold for 4 breaths, you are welcome and invited to. Last round here. Let those hips settle into the mat and into the ground. Release your grab on the mat. Take your arms out to a T or a goalpost. We're going to cross your right ankle onto your left thigh and take your legs over to the left. Outer left thigh, right foot will find the ground. Right knee, instead of falling toward your body, let it move away from you. And maybe you just reach down with your left hand and hold that right ankle. Maybe you don't. Maybe that right arm stays to the side. Maybe it comes down onto your belly. Touch can be grounding and presencing in its own way, but sometimes it's just distracting. See what makes sense for you this morning. Feel the fullness of your breath move in and out. And continue to gift yourself that presence here. Sometimes easy as we get to the stiller ending part of our practice to let the brain jump off to whatever comes next. But invite yourself to stay. To get lost in the details of how you're connecting to the ground here, how the breath feels in your body, the landscape of your mind and your heart. And then let's ease yourself back to center. Nice and easy. Let that right foot come to the ground. Then left ankle, right thigh. No rush. Same shape, second side. Legs will go to the right. Arms could be out at a goalpost or a T, or you might lay your hands upon ankle or belly, turning even the sensation of touch inward. Just take one more full breath here. And as you ease yourself back to center, notice if there's any remaining shape or movement that you need this morning, and take some time for whatever you need. But when you're ready, let's find our final shape of stillness, our final shape of rest, of a moment with ourselves in that presence that we have created. Let's take a gentle breath, focus down at the base of your spine, sort of that root of you and who you are. And let that awareness of the breath expand now to that sort of everything from rib cage down to tailbone. There'd be a great sense of fullness there. Great sense of breath. And let's shift that focus of breath into your heart. You might even place a hand on your heart. Shift that focus of breath up to your throat. And sometimes it feels weird to place a hand on it. You might just pick a finger or just sense into the throat. And then one more intentional breath all the way up into the crown of your head. And when you feel ready, let's take your two arms up overhead. Just get super long from fingertips to toe tips, elongating the whole continuity of your body. And no rush, just as you feel ready, ease yourself up very slowly, very gently to a comfortable seat. And as you find that seat, let your palms either come over the chest, over the heart, or come together in front of the heart, palm to palm. Taking these final moments of our practice together this morning to just really settle into the breath and the presence that you've created and to weave into it an intention for this week that's ahead of you, this moment here, right now. Whatever you need intention for as you head off of your mat today. And carrying that intention, carrying your presence, carrying everything this practice gives to you for yourself and a gift to everyone you connect with along the way. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here together, for practicing together today and all year as a community. I appreciate you all very, very much, and I look forward to moving into 2021 together. This is my last class, but we have one more yoga and beer class of the year. Seville is closing us out on Monday night at 6 p.m. And right here on the same channel. For the next, that little break between Monday and the 2nd of January, we've got our full library of recordings that you can practice with here on our Yoga and Beer channel. And then anything I think pre-October is actually over on my Mikki Trowbridge yoga page. It was going to take hours to move it all over, but it's still there for you. Donation information, if you'd like to contribute for class today, is in the description of the video. Venmo's Thanks for Yoga, and PayPal is yogaandbeerthanks@gmail.com. And I think those are all the announcements today. Merry Christmas, Cheryl and Jerry. I should say that as well. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays, however you celebrate this time of year. Thank you, Yulia. I'm glad you thought it was nice. Stephanie, thank you. Glad you thought it was lovely. Karen, thank you so much. Happy holidays. Ruth, thank you. Catherine, happy holidays to you. Appreciate you as well. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to hit end. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks you for being here. Thanks for your class last Saturday. Virginia, thank you so much. Nicole, glad you enjoyed it. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Mom. Shelly and David, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you and happy holidays. It's been a joy to practice with you as well. I feel like every time I start to get up and move to turn off the video, more comments come in. Okay, here I come. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. Yeah, stay safe. Thank you, Catherine. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, everyone. Mwah.